brownie. Got him on the Peacock Light Bright. 10-incher brownie. So I'm up in the western part of the state of Virginia, fishing this beautiful tailwater. This is the Jackson River. Just started fishing. Really shallow riffs. It's the beginning of September, and the temperature of the water is incredible. It's about 57. So I'm just going to be zigzagging through these riffs. There's a couple pockets in this slow area, and then there's another nice set of riffles and a little bit of pocket water up there. But just going to kind of peck my way through. Nice little brownie. It's funny that most of the fish, 80% of the fish you're going to get here are rainbows, but every now and then you're surprised with a brownie. So that's a good start there. What's nice is the water's got a little bit of a stain to it just because they had some heavy rain, so I can get a little bit closer. Typically this time of the year it is just crystal clear, so this is really perfect nymphing water. There we go. Have this just, it's shallow behind me, it's shallow over there, and you have this little, just this deep trough right here. I just figured there'd be a fish in here. Funky rainbow. Good looking fish. Nice fatty. Look at that, how fat that thing is. Look how fat that rainbow is. Good looking fish. Feeding well. So once again, you can see this real shallow gravel bar right here, and then there's this trough right here, and then it shallows off. It shallows out over there as well. And I just figured, I was actually heading up to that riffle and I saw this, and I just figured there had to be a fish in here. Ha 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 ha. There we go. Boy, I just had to get a nice tuck cast in there to get the right drift. I just put a 3-3 bead on to get down. It's pretty heavy in there. It's probably 3 feet. Got a Hare here, blowtorch. Nice fat rainbow. Thank you there, Mr. Bo. So you can see, I'm standing in an eddy right here. I'm going to work all this water behind me as well. But you have this trough, and you've got a rock right there. I had made a couple casts up there, and I just knew there's a fish there, but I just was not getting a good drift. So I just kind of, you know, centered myself, really focused, made a really nice tuck cast. I could tell right away the bugs got right to the bottom, and he hit it. So when you're in a really nice run and you just really feel like there's fish there, sometimes, and you're not getting the strike, sometimes you just need to slow it down, really get laser-like focus, and really concentrate on that cast and driving those bugs down. Sometimes that's all it takes. Another good cast. There we go. the trials and tribulations of fishing with a cigar. Almost nicked my leader. Trust me, I've done that before. Tell you what, these are just beautiful, beautiful bows. They, some of them are small, but boy, they are pretty fish. There we go. Boy, he was right at the head in that super, super skinny water there. Rainbow. Thank you there, Mr. Bow. You can see right here, I cast right at the head there. There's about 1, 2, 3 rocks that form a V, and it was right tucked up in their head, and he hit probably a foot into the drift, and I say it constantly. That's why it's so important to get tight to your sighter. I was tight right away. It just went 12 inches and just saw the line move. Oh man, he whacked it there. Sometimes they're really aggressive in this skinny water. There we go. There we go. Hitting that Hare blowtorch. Nice fatty. Oh, thank you there, Mr. Bow. Same area up here. Just making upstream cast, fishing right back to me. There we go. Decent fish right here. Same spot. Ah, damn. That was like a 14-inch bow. That was nice. He hit it quick. There we go. Whoa. It's a nice deep run in here. Nice jump. Nice jump. Thank you, Mr. Bow. Just working this really nice deep trough. You can see it's goes all the way up to the head of that riffle here, and actually in front of me looks really good too. There we go. Nice little shoot right here. Oh. Not big guys, but boy, they are pretty. Thank you, everybody. I want to show you what I did there. When you got quick water like this in front of you, when I made my cast, and while the bug was in the air, I set my rod. So, actually, let me get my slack here. So I made my cast, and as it was in the air, I kind of shifted just so I had my rod at the right angle to stay in front of the sighter, because I got a 2/8 bead on here. It's really quick, and I had to get in front of it. If I would have just stuck the rod like this, the bugs would have hit and got in front of my rod tip. So I made the cast, shifted in the air. I'll show you how I did that. So I make the cast and shift, and I'm already ahead of it when it hits the water. So I make that shift as it's in the air. There we go. Well, he was right up in that head. Decent fish too. Nice fish. Right up in that head. Boy, I almost made a grave error on that one. Line getting all tangled around my reel. Nice, that's a nice rainbow right there. That is a really nice rainbow. Great looking fish. It's a solid 13-incher. Thank you there, Mr. Bo. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Thank you there, buddy. He was right here, right off my rod tip. Maybe 15 feet away from me. I don't know if you saw the line get all tangled around my reel, because I was trying to reel it and I had a bunch of slack out, which was a serious rookie mistake. I got lucky. See, right in there, I'm just, boom, I'm tucking it right down right away, and he hit immediately, and there's no way I would have had that fish had I just kind of flipped it over there. I mean, I'm just, boom, I'm tucking. It's a 15-foot tuck cast, just driving it right down in there. I love that when you get rewarded like that. There we go. I stripped a little bit more line out, made a cast. That was a 30-foot cast. Got it up at the head, and I got it to depth right there. I knew there had to be another fish in there. Interesting, I started out kind of slow. I was just rotating through flies, and what's funny is right in the middle of the day, I just really started getting into the fish. And they are liking that Hare's ear blowtorch for sure. It's one of those days where I know I probably caught, gosh, I don't know, 30 or so, but I felt like I have really worked hard for them. There we go. Right in that chute. Even rainbows love them. Right in that chute right there. Boy, these rainbows are nice and fat. So you can see all the bugs I was rotating through today. I just, right there in the middle, the Hare's Ear blowtorch was really the winner. I caught most of my fish on them. To the right of that is a traditional blowtorch, where I actually caught my biggest fish on that. It was about a 14-inch brownie, but a bunch of different paragons. I caught fish on everything, but really once I found out they were hitting that Hare's Ear blowtorch, I stuck with that. And it was, I got them, that's a size 16 right there, but I was also getting them on a size 14 as well. So I'm going to be calling it quits here on the Jackson. Just a fun afternoon. I fished this area for about 3 hours. And honestly, I did, even though I had really good success, I did feel like I was struggling for a bit there in the beginning. I started double nymphing. I had 6X, and then I switched over to 7X, went to a single nymph, and then I really just kind of got laser-like and focused on my cast, focused on my drift, and that's when I started seeing my success go up. Fished a lot of skinny water, and then there was some green water amongst it, you know, these little troughs. That's where I was pecking at the fish. Just caught a slew of these 10 to 12-inch rainbows, which are a blast. But I did manage to catch about a 14-inch brownie and another rainbow, maybe 13, 14 inches. But just a really, really fun afternoon. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up. And if you like what I'm doing, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. And as always, tight lines, everybody. I'll talk to you later.